Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is August 12th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery as of yesterday. And boy, if you were out across the higher terrain of Southern California, out towards the Salton Sea yesterday and some of the desert areas, you definitely saw that thunderstorm show going on. We had thousands of lightning strikes, so let's play through it here. You can see they quickly build here as we go through the late morning hours across the Baja Peninsula, up in towards the Peninsula Range of Southern California. And look, it was just relentless. We had thousands of lightning strikes. Look at this activity, very intense lightning activity, and some of the anvils of these storms were drifting back out across some of San Diego and Orange County up towards the Los Angeles metro. And you can see the thunderstorm activity continuing on through the evening hours right across the border there. We had some strong storms there across some of the desert regions up towards Las Vegas, Nevada, portions of Arizona and Utah also. But then we scroll in the overnight hours and continue to see the lightning activity going on across some of the desert areas. We had another thunderstorm pop off across Baja there as well. And we come back out into this morning. And the good news is we're going to get a bit of a break here. There's still some thunderstorm potential, but not as dramatic as what was going on yesterday. A wider view of things here. Here's the state of California. We're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. So if we scroll back, you can kind of see that thunderstorm activity, and again, exactly where it was. Southern California, Arizona, Nevada, and portions of Utah. Scroll through the nighttime hours there, and that activity is going to be waning here today, but we still have the chance for it. And you can see San Diego talking about Joshua Tree 18%. You can see Means Lake 14%, Ludlow up here on the 40 at 16%. So don't let your guard down fully, but we shouldn't see what we saw yesterday with just absolutely ridiculous amounts of lightning out there. And again, all these storms contain potentially deadly lightning. There's Phoenix, Arizona right here, 16% chance, better chance across the Mogollon Rim and across some of southern and southeastern Arizona as well. Tucson coming in probably about 50% chance or so. This is Las Vegas right on the western periphery here. Some of this thunderstorm activity, definitely better chances as you go off into Arizona and Utah here. Now looking at Reno, I just wanted to point this out. There are red flag warnings up. Wind gusts 35 miles per hour, some low relative humidity. So, keep that in the back of your mind here. It is fire season for sure. Taking a look at the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh. You see the thunderstorm development here across the Peninsula Range through Baja, and it tries to get towards some of the desert areas, but doesn't show up too much here. So maybe we'll get a break here because that was pretty intense what happened yesterday. And then for Tuesday, you see that activity pushing off east, including Arizona and Utah, but really leaving Nevada and California alone. Now, let's take a look at the SPC. Excuse me, something similar here as well off to the east of Las Vegas today and tomorrow. And you can see this wind threat here across some portions of Utah. Severe gusts are 58 miles per hour or greater. Just like to point that out and remind you occasionally of that. Now look at the excessive rainfall outlook. You can see it does clip some portions of Nevada and California today, Arizona and Utah also. And just a reminder, there is a discussion for this. If you ever want to visit this National Weather Service, you can go ahead and click in here and read it yourself. It doesn't mention California here, but it is a valuable product. Now, looking at what's coming up here. So we got the 12Z GFS. It's running. It's hot off the presses. That's why I updated it here so we can get all the most recent data. You see the troughing hanging out here. It's keeping our temperature suppressed for many areas, but we start to build a bit of a ridge here as we start to go through the extended forecast. We still have the troughing across Pacific Northwest. It's going to become a deep trough here, so it's likely to have kind of a sharp cutoff here. Some areas below normal to some areas above. As you can see, the ridge start to develop here across the southwest USA and start to become relatively strong as we scroll up into the extended forecast, and that's likely to bring some heat back into portions of the southwest, including California, as boy, this trough wants to hang out off the coastline here for several days. Now, taking a look at 2-meter temperature anomaly, let's just go ahead and update this and do the 12Z GFS because that's coming in hot off the presses. You see, we're dealing with some areas below normal and some of Northern California substantially so as we go through this upcoming week. And we scroll off into the future to see what it shows, but you can see the heat trying to make a bit of a comeback here for Central and Southern California as we go on in through next week. So that's what we'll be watching here. You can kind of see the sharp cutoff there. And again, that was at the surface. That was temperature anomaly. So if we look at the GFS ensemble mean, I just want to scroll through here. This is the average of all 30 members. You can see that ridge suppressed for the most part until we go towards the weekend, and then we start to go into the weekend. You can see it start to redevelop here, and eventually it'll start to slide and push its way off to the west as the troughing hangs out off the coastline there. So that's what we'll be watching off through the next few days. Taking a look at the hurricane center here, tropical cyclone activity not expected over the next 48 hours, so we don't have to worry about any kind of tropical surges back into the southwest USA, at least not right now. Taking a look at the daily 2-meter max, you can see we're not doing too bad. The hundreds have taken a sabbatical here from the region, a hiatus. And as we go on in through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we start to warm back up a little bit right at the end of the run. And that could be the sign of that ridge rebuilding here. We'll be watching that. Taking a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, below normal signal here from much of the west coast, as you see as we go through the 21st. But this is just kind of a broad brush because some areas are still slightly above average or going to be so during this time frame. And I expect this to be updated and probably pushed a little bit west here as we go through the update today. Near normal, you can see all across a lot of California right now. We're going to take that with a grain of salt for now. But take a look at 8-meter smoke above the ground, and you can see, you know, we have some out there today that you might be smelling a bit, but relatively speaking, this is not too bad for August for the state of California, especially as you look up in towards the later morning hours and afternoon hours of Tuesday. You can see some of the fires still producing some smoke there, but relatively speaking, it could be much worse, and there's always a lot of time for it to get much worse as we go through August and September and on into October, which can be very active fire weather months here. So don't let your guard down just because things aren't too bad right now. It's not always going to be the case. And the park fire is still growing, but just barely, just slowly, only 71 acres over the last 24 hours, about 430,000 acres as of right now. And you can see we still have the windy and dry conditions, so let's not help Mother Nature out here and let's not start any fires if we can help it. Let's be good humans. And you can see again for tomorrow and then Wednesday, Thursday, but still this brown is still moderate risk, so we still have that potential. It is that time of year. But anyway, yeah, impressive thunderstorm activity there across Southern California yesterday. Wish I could have been down there to see something like that. I mean, I can't imagine living underneath that. Just people just getting hammered with that lightning activity, thousands of strikes. But anyway, yeah, click like and subscribe. It's free to click that subscribe button down below. I'd like to thank all my supporting members who donate monthly to the channel. This channel is not possible without you. So again, a very heartful thank you to everybody out there doing that, and all my members that stop by and watch daily. Thanks for that also. So anyway, we'll break this all down again tomorrow. We'll take a look at that extended forecast, and I will talk to you guys then.